Hi, welcome back to the Drunk Linux User. I am Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. And yesterday, I had the privilege of showing you how to install applications, programs on Linux. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that's all fine and good, smartass. How about taking them off? What if I put something on and I don't like it anymore? Well, I can help you with that. Normally, I'd just say, hey, you're on your own. But no, since I got you into this mess, let's go ahead and get you out of it. All right. So we're going to start with snaps. My system does not have any snaps on here, so I can't actually show you what the process is going to look like live on my terminal. But I can show you this website, and it talks about why some people don't want to use snaps on their computer, so we'll just keep scrolling down. If you want to find out if your computer has any, it's pretty simple. You just open up a terminal, and you can either copy and paste from this website or just type in snap space list. And you can see I don't have any. Okay, I don't have any snaps. Almost sounds sad, but actually it's a good thing. So you can follow these instructions where you're going to use sudo. Remember, super user. I'm a super user. Computer, you do what I tell you to do. Snap remove. And then you put another space in there, hyphen purge, and then the name of whatever snap package you want to get rid of. You also need to clear out the cache. Now, the cache is going to be stored file information, maybe system settings, maybe even if it has to do with anything on the web that it's held some information in there, some web page information, images, things along that line. So you want to clear the cache out. You'll save yourself a lot of space by doing this, by the way. And if you want to uninstall the complete snap system, this line right here will get you well on your way. This is your call. Okay, you make your decision based on what you think you want on your computer. Do some research on it. Make your own choices. There are people who love snap packages. Okay, it is a personal choice. Some people like Android, some people like iOS. I'm just saying, you do what you need to do for yourself. Okay, I'm just showing you how, in case you want to get rid of this. After you get done with the cache, you're going to have to clear out the preferences. Here's the command line for that. See, it's not just cut and dried, like, get rid of this. There's a lot that goes into your system with the snaps. So I'll put the website, all these websites, up in the description so that you can go and follow these lines one by one. You shouldn't have any problems at all. Okay. The next one is going to be Flatpaks. Now, I am on Mint, Linux Mint. I do have one Flatpak application on my system. If you remember, I showed you HydraPaper from a previous show, and once I set the images up for my two different monitors, I don't need this program anymore. In fact, I don't need FlatHub for anything else anymore. I've already made my choices. I know my system. I know my needs, and so I'm going to walk you through how to get rid of all this stuff and some of it for why. Now, step one, I like it when they put in the steps, don't you? Copy, we'll bring up that terminal again. Let's see if I can just go clear that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and paste in that little list of Flatpak list, and you'll see that there's several things on here. Mesa, not sure what that is. Intel, well, that has to do with my computer. OpenH264, well, that kind of sounds like a web format, doesn't it? And there's HydraPaper. Okay. This is a GNOME application platform, something or another. And then the Ambience GTK theme that makes the Flatpak integrate with the theme that's already built into my system. So These are the things that come up under the list. All right. And like they say, you can go into the software manager, which I'll do right now. And going under installed, you can scroll. I know what I'm looking for. That's why it's taking, oh, look at that. It's not showing up right now. Because I just had to re-add it. I did something stupid and didn't record the last time. So if I keep looking over at my other monitor, it's to make sure I'm still recording. Anyway, Hydro Paper, you can see, is installed, but I didn't actually see any of these other things listed. So just uninstalling Hydro Paper using the software manager isn't going to get rid of everything. And I want to get rid of everything. So we're going to get out of the software manager and we're going to follow the rules to get rid of Flatpack. Okay. It's showing here that you can get rid of either the unused flat packs, the things you don't use anymore, or you can get rid of it all. I want to get rid of it all. So I'm going to copy and paste that in there, and it's going to say these are the things that you're saying you want to get rid of. Is that true? Yes or no? Well, yes. And you can see it just went through the list really quickly. Wonderful. We're not done. We're going to go with Flatpack list just to make sure nothing is there. Nothing's there. That's awesome. But we got to get rid of it completely because there's an awful lot of space being used in Flatpack. This person says that it was full with 4 gigabytes. That's amazing. I'm going to take a look at mine and see what was going on. He said it was in the var file and lib. There we go. And Flatpack. So Flatpack, and we're going to get the properties of that. And that's not too bad. 41.7 megabytes. That's not bad at all. They must have had a lot of Flatpaks. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to completely remove it. So we're going to do repair. Put in my password. Okay, that's removed. This is going to be very similar to what we can do with Debian files. I'll get to that later. There are different ways of getting rid of Debian files too, but this is the best way of getting rid of Flatpaks. So we're going to paste that in. Do I want to do that? I'm still recording. Isn't that wonderful? Alright, so this might take a second or two just to make sure that everything's getting purged out okay. Some of these files are large and some of them are very, very small. I know it's just about done now, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this next part. And okay, that part's done. I'm going to paste, and I want to get rid of all that too, because this is just unused files and folders from Flatpaks and maybe even from Hydro Paper. So we're just getting rid of it all. And I'll show you something. I don't know if it's going to work because I might have to restart the system just to prove that this actually happened. But in the software repositories, I'm just going to do is add update. Okay. Just to make sure that all my repositories are up to date. And once again, it just takes a little bit longer than I anticipate. Oh well. While we're waiting for all that to happen, continuing down this page, if you run into any errors, then they give you some information on how to take care of that. So that's how you get rid of Flatpaks. And that should be about done now. Okay, done. It looks like I've got some that I can upgrade. Let's see what they are. So up. I've already done the update. Now I want to see what the upgrades are, because I can always say no, I don't want to do it. And those are going to be language packs for GNOME, GNOME Base. Some of these are just system files and video drivers, things along that line. Do I want them? Sure, while I start talking about the next one, I'll just go ahead and let this run in the background. Alright, of course that'll probably make the computer all jumpy and jittery, but what the heck, we're just having fun today, aren't we? We're just getting rid of stuff left and right. Now, uninstall deb files. Unlike Windows, where you can run an uninstall program from a program's installation folder, or through something like Revo Uninstall. Did that finish? Haha, it's finished. Okay. You can use the software manager that I showed you before to be able to remove a program. With deb files, there are different ways of doing it. This page has a good, solid way to do it. This also shows you how to install a deb file and how to take it back out once you're done with it. Let's see. So, for example, okay, we've got installed on my system. You can see that I have different programs listed here. Now, let me run down a little bit here. I don't play games on my computer. I know that's weird. I just don't do it. So you can take a look at the program and you can either launch it. See, it's going to do this to me again. I don't know why that happened before, but so while we're waiting for that to get taken care of, you can use the software manager to add and remove. But when you remove from the software package manager, you're not necessarily removing all the little pieces that are left over. And that's why when we were we're getting rid of the Flatpaks, we used something called purge. And I'll get to that in just a moment here, as soon as my software package manager decides it's going to update itself again. I think the reason for this is that I just did an upgrade, and so now the package manager is sitting here thinking, well, I thought I knew what I had on here, but I guess I don't. Now I have to remember and learn everything all over again. I say this every video. I apologize for the delay in some of this, but I have an 8-year-old laptop. It runs extraordinarily slow when I'm trying to do videotape along with the audio and trying to run 2 monitors. Here we go. All right, let's go back to installed, right? Okay. So what's on my computer? Software manager's looking. Okay. Well, I want to keep most of this, but like I said, I don't play the games. So we go back over to Mahjong, and I can remove it here. Okay. Are you sure? And say yes, and we'll get rid of it. The thing about it, like I said, the thing about it is that all the little tiny files that like configurations and file folders and stuff like that, they're probably not gone. And if I want to make sure that I am getting rid of a program all the way, let's see, it has the, okay. Alright, since it's never been played, probably is going to be very limited here, but I'm going to try to sudo apt. That's the system that not only helps install software. It also helps remove software. So sudo apt remove. I know that the web page is going to have something like dpkg space -i or with a -r for remove. I like it this way because I'm seeing remove. Okay, I didn't have the name right. See, this is where you have to have the name right. So sudo apt remove gnome, probably hyphen sudoku. Aha, I got it. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of it. You can see that sudo apt auto remove for program files I don't need anymore. I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, so Sudoku has been removed, but we want to get rid of all the other stuff that goes along with it. So sudo apt purge. This gets rid of all the little files. This is sort of like if you're using Revo Uninstaller in Windows, and when I'm on Windows I make sure I have that on there. This is sort of like the first part removes the program, and then you scan and it shows all the different little subsequent files and folders. Well, this is what purge is doing in Linux. It's the same concept, it's just a different way of doing it. So sudo apt purge, and then I'm going to type in gnome hyphen sudoku, and there was nothing else to do because I hadn't actually played or opened this program up, so there weren't any configuration files that got set up or anything like this. But getting back to some of the other stuff that I talked about before, the following package was automatically installed and is no longer required. This little guy right here, and I have no idea what it is, but it's not needed. So the system is telling me that I can remove it because it's just taking up space. Even if it's just a little bit, it's taking up space. I can type in sudo apt auto remove. Okay, I saved myself 63.5 kilobytes of disk space with that. Every little bit may count one day, you never know. So those are the different ways that you can remove deb files. And like I said, if you want to use the package manager, that's fine. You want to use your software manager. When this updates, this isn't going to be here anymore. Right now it still shows. So I'm going to eventually take out mines and all the other stuff that's on here that are games. I just don't use those. So those are deb files. And that's a picture on the website that I don't need to see. Okay. That's pretty much it. That's the simple stuff. Those are the simple ways of being able to remove programs, apps. That's an interesting one. Yesterday I showed you how to put in Thunderbird as a binary file. Okay, I wanted to show you this today. The Thunderbird folder is right there, and when you first take a look at your file manager, it's going to look nice and pretty like this, but there are hidden files and folders. Type Control H, you can see the hidden files and folders. So I have my Thunderbird folder that I dropped in here yesterday, and as you scroll down a little bit further, you're going to see there's a .thunderbird. Now this is where you're going to find all your configuration files. This is where the accounts are going to be set up in this folder. I don't need either one of them. Okay, that's how simple this is going to be. I want to delete it permanently. I don't want Thunderbird, so that's all gone. And yet you say, didn't you drop in a .desktop file for Thunderbird the other day? And by golly, I did. So I'm going to take a look at where I put it. It was in the user, share, applications folder. Right. And that little sucker is right there. See? Little bit of command line magic and we'll get rid of that too. There are ways of being able to get into a system folder using your file manager. It's kind of frowned on, and maybe I'll show that in another video. I just don't think today's the right venue for that. So this is what you can do. Sudo, if you can type sudo, okay, and I'm going to put in rm for remove, rm, and I'm going to type in, whoa, yeah, okay, I am going to type in sudo rm. Now I have to go to the file, and to do that I have to type in the pathway, which is going to be user share applications, and all of these have got the slashes after the names, and then I'm going to type in the file name, thunderbird.desktop. If I've done everything right, well, that file's gone out of that folder, and you can see I didn't get an error message on my my terminal. So when I come in here now and type in Thunderbird, not there. This is a vestige of the original Thunderbird that was installed with Linux Mint, and when I went to purge, apparently that little file folder didn't go away. So good for me, right? I got to figure out where that thing went, but it's just a little file folder. It's just a little placeholder, and it's not in here either in the applications folder. So well, maybe, you know, if I was just a little bit smarter, let's go with Thunderbird. It says home Mozilla Thunderbird. So let's see if maybe they dropped an icon in here. Nope. So I don't know where they popped that thing. I'm going to find it one day and I'm going to get rid of it just because. So that's how you get rid of a binary file and the associated desktop file. So I'm glad I had a chance to be able to find that for you. Switching gears dramatically, if you are a Windows user who's just come over to Linux or have recently come over to Linux and you miss your Microsoft Edge, it is available. Okay, it's in a beta and a developer version. A beta version is going to be, all things considered, more stable than a developer version. So you can go to this page. Again, all the pages will have links, and you can download the beta, which has a release about every 6 weeks or so, and the developer channel comes out about every week. Now, the developer channel is going to have probably newer features than what the beta is going to show, but the problem is that it might not be as stable. So if this is for a production machine, you may want to hold off on the developer. If you need to have Microsoft Edge, though, try the beta. It might work for you. And it shows you here, you can right click after you download the package. You can right click, open it in your software manager, and you can install it from there if you want to, or you can use the command line. There's different ways of putting them in, remember? So it is a deb file for you Microsoft people. All right, Kdenlive came out with a new version. I'm still recording. Kdenlive came out with a new version today, and it has a lot of great new features in there. One of them is called time remapping. Now, in a lot of before, in some of the software I've had to use, you had to take like a segment and do incremental slowdowns to make it look like people are going into slow motion, and then you'd have the slow motion part of the file, and then and you have to stitch everything together. Well, they've got it set up so you can do that from within a panel. You can also do some pretty cool masking effects on here. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of other, they're showing the usability improvements where you can select all and you can drag, which is really great. If you've done all this work and then all of a sudden you go, oh crap, I forgot to put my intro in. Well, you can use this tool, and you can create a group to select and move. That way you can insert whatever you need to, or delete out whatever you need to. So very good. And a lot of other performance improvements and such on this new version of Kdenlive. I wish this worked on my computer. Sadly, it'll crash. But it is great software, and I highly recommend it. All right, now, do you want to learn all the Linux command line interface commands? Are you nuts? Of course you don't. Well, maybe you do. If you're a system admin, you probably are going to need to know like a lot of them right there. There is a cheat sheet that this website has put out, and you can download it right here. Sorry about that. I lost my place on the page. Now this is just going to open up in my browser window right now, but you can save it to your downloads folder and put it in documents or wherever you want to do it. But it has a lot of great category setups so that you don't have to fumble around trying to find it. Like, oh my God, I got to work with files. Thank God they've got file commands right up there. Okay, great cheat sheet. You don't have to memorize. I don't think I know, but maybe a dozen or so Linux commands by heart, and I don't intend to learn any more. I don't need to at this specific part of my life. I don't think I really need it. I'm not a sysadmin. That pretty well wraps it up for today, though, and I hope some of this information has been helpful for you. And please leave some comments below if you found like, oh my God, I've been trying to figure out how to get rid of this darn Flatpack package for the last eon or so. Well, if this worked, awesome. I'm glad it did. In the meantime, don't drive drunk. Don't drink and drive. Don't go to Amazon and eBay inebriated or whatever you do and buy crap you don't need. And in the meantime, it's a little too early in the day for the hard stuff, so I'm going to drink my coffee. And this used to be considered an adult beverage, but not anymore apparently. So, bottoms up. Later, dudes. Coffee, 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 coffee. Coffee.